John Delony is going to try to talk some sense into this woman that left her fiance because, well, she got bored. You see the title here, ladies and gentlemen. I left my fiance for another man and it was a mistake. How can I repair our relationship?
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
It's an evil world we live in.
Now, this video is kind of long, so I'm going to get right into the reaction. But what this woman did, you're going to find is very typical. I'm going to put an overlay over the video because, of course, John Delony likes to give copyright strikes or claims to people that use his content. So you'll hear the audio, but I'll be over it, of course, giving my commentary. I will leave a link to this in the description box for all of you. Stop pausing the video, ninjas. For all of you, you talk too much, ninjas. All right?
Listen, come here. Shut your stupid ass up.
If you're still here, thank you very much for your viewership. We're going to get right into the reaction. Without further ado, fair use.
I ended up leaving my fiance.
How come?
How come?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing.
Did you meet somebody new?
I did. It was somebody that lived in the area. And
Now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, she knows exactly why she left this guy, and she's going to make that very apparent through the questioning that John Delony is going to give her here in a few moments. But just listen to how she kind of makes excuses for it along the way, and John Delony will eventually bring her back to the front of the class and say, look, this is why you did it. Stop making excuses for it. And until you deal with this, it's going to happen again. So yeah, it's not his fault. It's your fault. And unless you go to therapy or whatever you need to do, you're just going to do this to the next guy, or I don't want to spoil it.
And I got curious about who this person was, and I took it too far and I acted on it. And then, yeah, ended up leaving my fiance and regretted it almost immediately.
Enemy spotted.
And I actually just left that other relationship that I was in. And I think I want to repair things with my ex-fiance, and I think he does too, but I don't know where to start.
You left this man, you went with another guy, and you regretted it almost immediately. Wait a minute, where's my sound effect? Immediately. Now,
Nick, you're stupid.
You're trying to call in the John Delony show to figure out how you can bring this man back into the clutches of your evil ways. All right? And you say you think he wants to repair, and you think you do, but you don't know how to, how do you fix it, because you messed up, and your fiance, your ex-fiance, by the way, knows you made a mistake too. And she's also going to explain how basically her fiance took her back because he knew what was, I don't want to spoil it.
How do you know you want to repair it?
Because, he was my best friend.
Oh, now we were now
together for 7 years, engaged for a year and a half.
7 years, 8 years.
And I don't know, I just can't. I don't know. I can't imagine meeting someone else.
You've already done that.
Thank you.
I know, but trying to build a life with someone else, because the life that we had built was everything that I could have wanted. I just didn't see it in the time.
I'm wondering if you're not just in a cloud of guilt and loneliness.
But see, here's the thing, John Delony, and to you viewer out there, she wasn't lonely. She just said that the life we built was so great and everything I ever wanted. So why, gentlemen, basically you gentlemen out there, why do you think that she left this man? She's going to spell it out here eventually. Again, John Delony will ask the right question to bring her to why did you leave this man? Because she hasn't answered that question yet. She's talking out of both sides of her mouth. Well, I left this guy because I wasn't happy, but at the same time, the relationship that we had was so great. And when I went to the other guy, I immediately regretted it. I went to the other side of the fence. I went to the grass over there, and I thought it was so green, but it was just painted green. All right? And now I want to go back over here, but I don't know how to go back over.
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean,
Then I would pause on trying to run back and fix this thing. Because I'm afraid it's going to happen. I'm afraid it's going to happen again.
It will.
I know that's my worry too, and I don't want it to happen again. And that's why, like, I'm taking the steps to try and figure out why I did what I did. And I just started therapy last week.
I know, but the bigger thing is you making an ironclad commitment. I'm never going to do that again. And I haven't heard you say that.
There you go. The out.
Like figuring out why. That's good. That's part of the puzzle. But there's that line saying, I won't do this. Or let me put it this way. He can't anchor in and trust you again until you trust you. And you don't trust you right now.
And what's that called, ladies and gentlemen? Accountability. And she still does not have that yet, ladies and gentlemen. She's trying to ask John Delony, how do I set a new trap for my ex-fiance? That's basically what she's trying to do. How do I set a new trap for my ex-fiance to walk back into? Huh? How do I do that?
No, but I want to trust me. Like, I want to be a better person.
I totally get that. But you can't ask him to anchor into you until you are trustworthy to yourself.
So how do I do that?
You've got to begin to make some ironclad commitments to yourself and then act upon those things.
She knows how to do it.
I'm the kind of person who.
You're an adult. You know how to do it.
Here's what that looks like. I'm the kind of person that has zero social media. I'm the kind of person that does not text anybody that I might be attracted to or not, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person who you got to fill that gap in, not through thoughts. And I'm wonder why this ironclad actions. I'm a person who doesn't do any of those things.
Okay.
And if you say I'm a kind of person that he's on my, like, I'm going to give my social media access and all my DMs and all my text messages to my fiance, this person who I said is my best friend, but I blew his life to smithereens. I'm going to do all those things. That's the kind of person I am. Otherwise, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back and you're going to grovel. He's going to have this upper hand. You're going to feel it. And you're going to want that safety of that friendship you had, of that comfort that you had. Mm-hmm. And the moment it gets comfortable, you're going to start feeling dead in your own skin again. And somebody at work is going to say, God, I love that shirt you're wearing. And now we're back to the races again.
Enemy spotted.
Now, by the way, she still hasn't come to the actual reason why she left her fiance, all right? But John Delony is trying to put her on a path that says, you know what? Here's what accountability looks like if you want to get back with your ex-fiance. I mean, whatever he wants to make himself feel secure in getting back into this is what you have to do, and you have to be committed to that. She has not exhibited those traits yet, if you will. She hasn't exhibited that kind of behavior through her verbiage yet that she's willing to do that. She's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to tell you that. You know what you got to do. You know how you messed up. And inevitably, us as adults, we know how we have to fix it. Now, the problem is, do we want to fix it that way? Or are we committed, as he says, committed to fixing it the way they want it fixed? Because doing it that way will make us uncomfortable and inevitably will take us, it will close that door that we can still go back through should we want to go back into that kind of behavior, right? And people are guilty of that all the time. I've been guilty of that before. You know what? Do I really want to do that? Because then well, if I want to jump back out there, then I can't because I gave all this up because I closed all those doors, right? This is the problem. And she knows what she got to do, but she doesn't want to do it. But it gets worse.
Exactly.
So the question from the inside out is, what is it about the life you co-created that you did not feel good inside of?
I don't know. It was just, I guess, seeking, validation elsewhere that made me feel good. And then once I started to get it, it was just.
Oh, it's intoxicating. It's the best.
Validation. Yeah. But you had it though. You said that the life that y'all made together was so great. So why did you need validation? Here's the deal. It wasn't the validation. Somebody gave you the tingles. And you know how they gave you the tingles? You got, like you said, you got comfortable in a relationship. You've been together for 7, 8 years. You got comfortable, which most people do on both ends, to be fair, men and women. You got comfortable, and guess what happened? Then Brad at work, the guy from accounting shows up, and he's wearing nice suits, and he compliments you, and all of a sudden, your vag is getting wet again.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Huh? All of a sudden, those tingly feelings that's going on in your chest and, down in your hind parts are starting to come up.
Bitch, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah, let's continue, though.
In
Right.
the world.
Right.
But my deeper question is, what was it about this person that you trusted and were planning on building a life with, that you were with for 8 years or so, that you couldn't say, I want to be loved like this?
I guess there was just, I don't know, no relationship is perfect and no person is going to be like your perfect person, but there was just like things that I felt were lacking.
Uh-huh. Like what?
Did you put them on the table and say, I want to be loved like this?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
But that's the thing. He treated me so well.
I know, but he didn't treat you in the way that you wanted.
Here, gentlemen, is the problem that we always have.
Enemy spotted.
This woman, she had a great relationship, right? Here's the problem. Sexually, it got comfortable, and all kind of content creators talk about this, therapists, all these kind of people. Eventually the moves become predictable. The intimacy becomes scheduled and things like that. Life happens, right? And all those nice, fun, and unpredictable things become very predictable after a while. And that's where the spark goes out, things like that. And here's where this validation part comes in for women, right? Most of the time. Because men, we understand life happens, so we just roll with it, right? Women, on the other hand, they got to feel that. That's how a man can cheat on a woman a million times and she stays, right? I mean, besides the fact that they do everything but leave, right? But this also brings her excitement. Every once in a while, he gets caught cheating, right? Every once in a while, he gets caught hiding something. And, now the spark is back. Now I feel energized. Even though it's negative, it's still attention. It's still validation. Because after he cheats, then he has to come back to you and be all on his bended knee and all this kind of stuff. And that brings her attention, right? Yeah.
And you didn't have the courage to tell him.
Right.
And Hollywood called.
Yep.
Hollywood.
And Hollywood is an amazing drug.
Mm-hmm.
Attention.
So I guess one of the main things is like we struggled like with intimacy.
Message.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We struggle with intimacy. Now, I bet you didn't struggle with it in the beginning. Year 1, year 2, year 4, you didn't struggle with it, right? But year 5, year 6, year 7, then you get engaged at year 8, and the relationship is so great, right? But he's not hitting that spot like he used to, right? Again, it's not becoming spontaneous where we used to do it in the kitchen at 11 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the evening on cooking dinner. Now it's just 9 o'clock before we go to bed or in the morning before he goes to work. It's getting predictable. sometimes he's having problems getting up now because he's been through every crevice of you now, so he's probably getting a little bit bored too. But he's dealing with it because he loves you, because his love is transitioning from the fun part where the new car smell wears off into the loyalty part where he loves you enough to take care of you for the rest of his life, right? You still want the fun stuff, right? So here we go. Now you're struggling with intimacy. And here is where Brad from accounting comes in at, right? Here we go.
And it was definitely more like.
What does that mean? It was boring. You didn't want to sleep with him.
Yeah, it was just like, it was boring. And it was just, for me, it was more like a chore. And I just like didn't like it anymore. But I know that he didn't feel that way.
Bingo.
And that just created like a disconnect between us.
And so I'm thinking of a couple of my buddies that are my best friends, okay? My closest friends on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
If they're doing a thing that I don't like, I'm taking sex off the table, right? These are just my guys, right? My buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, hey, dude, don't do that anymore. Do this. And they're like, all right, cool. What was it about this person that you call your best friend that you spent so much time with that you didn't have the courage to say, I want to spice this up? I'm feeling like this is a chore. I feel like I am just somebody that gets you off. It's not somebody that we're creating a fun, exciting life together.
Right. And that's the thing that I can't figure out because, I mean, he was all about that. I just was not, I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But then it's like I meet someone else and it's like I had no issues. But
man, ain't this amazing, gentlemen? So you didn't, he was such an amazing guy, but the sex, the 20% or the 10%, right? Y'all heard this old cliche phrase, you left the 80 for the 20, blah, blah. This is exactly what she just did. Everything was great about the relationship besides the intimacy. And you left this man because the intimacy got boring, got with this other guy, and I'm sure he was knocking the bottom out for a little while. But as you will find out here shortly, this guy was a total creep. And so you left him to go back to the other guy, back to your ex-fiance. Now, the intimacy is probably not going to change that much. He's going to try to spice it because he knows that's what you're into now. Is it genuine? For him, it is because he's trying to keep you. He loves you. He wants to try to make it nice for you, right? He's being authentic. But for you, you're familiar with this guy still sexually. So how do I love a guy that, I'm not really into sleeping with anymore? Women do this all the time. It's called marriage. But yeah. So again, you want John Delony to try to help you figure out how to spring a new trap for your ex-fiance.
You know why? Because there's nothing at stake there. It's easy.
right.
When you build a comfortable, safe time together, it can be hard to say, hey, by the way, right now, this is me. Do you still love me? Because there's so much more at stake.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. To answer your question, the path back in something like this is you ask him, I would like a roadmap to rebuild trust with you because I blew your life up. I blew my life up. I blew your life up. I need a roadmap to trust. I'm personally telling you right now, I've just sat with enough couples over the years, enough individuals over the years. You're going to get comfortable again and you're going to get bored again. And until you deal with those skills, how do you practice desire inside of a very safe relationship?
And he's right. If you don't deal with that right there, you're going to bring this guy back in. You're going to be thankful that you're back with him because you're not with the creep guy. But eventually, it's going to get comfortable again. You're going to spend another 2 years with this guy, and it's going to get comfortable again. You're going to be like, man, yep. And then what's going to happen is that Tyrone from engineering is gonna come, right? Instead of Brad from accounting, now Tyrone from engineering is gonna come down. And guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like, man, are you wearing a new fragrance today? Looks like you have a new shade of makeup on today. And next thing you know, it's gonna be where's my? It's gonna be like, I wish I could find it, but I can't. Anyway, you know what's going on here, right? She's gonna get the freaking tingles once again. Here it is. It's like, oh, new makeup? Oh, really? I didn't know anybody noticed. Oh, there we go. Your eyes gonna light up bigger than Christmas morning. And guess what? The draws will be dropping once again.
What made you bored with this other guy?
You mean the one that I left my fiance for?
Yep.
I wasn't necessarily bored with him. He was just like a little bit, he was emotionally and mentally abusive and controlling and manipulative. And it just like got to the point where.
But there was a part of that that drew you to him. What was it?
So, oh man, he was blowing my back out, but he was manipulative, he was controlling, and he was abusive. Great, right? And so you got tired of that, after that went off for a few weeks, and then you say, you know what, I got to go back to my fiance. But now you got to figure out how to go back without groveling. All right, so now you got to say, well, it's your fault because, we were struggling in the bedroom. And you probably could have worked on it, but you didn't want to. The grass always green on the other side. The new toy is always better, right? Until you find out it's less quality. It's made out of plastic and the other one was made out of metal, right? And now, guess what? You want to go back. But it's going to be harder this time for you, right? Because you have to admit you were wrong. And you also have to work on yourself, which a lot of people in general, it's hard for them to do, to admit their faults and actually work on them. Do you really want this guy back, or do you just want freedom? That's what you got to figure out. Do you even want your fiance back for real, or do you want the freedom to just choose a whole nother guy altogether and see if you can find Jesus, the guy that's 100%? Because I doubt you'll find him, but you're gonna try, or you're gonna try to make your ex-fiance into this guy, but that's what you left him for in the first place. Yeah.
That drew me to like him.
Yeah, there was a little bit of the recklessness and the chaos and the
attention, the fun, the unpredictability.
Yeah, it just felt like, it was like exciting and
exciting.
That's it.
I don't know.
That's it.
It got your heart rate back up.
Yeah.
That's it.
And if you're going to be in a long-term relationship, you'll have to decide we're going to create environments through mystery, through fun, through play, through excitement, where we can get each other's heart rates up.
It's not going to happen. Well.
And that is not Hollywood.
Nope.
It's putting sex on a calendar. It's saying this Friday, we're going to fill in the blank. And it loses some of its movie appeal, but it's right and it's deep and it's trusting.
Right. Okay.
She's not ready. She is not ready for this, yo. She still wants the excitement. I don't know how old this woman is or how young she is, but she's not ready for a long-term relationship where this eventually will happen. Every long-term relationship turns into this. It's hard to keep sex unpredictable or keep sex exciting in, year 10, year 15. And it doesn't, and let's be clear, long-term relationships have their value for child raising, for wealth building, things of that nature, right? Or as some people make fun of now, legacy, right? But in those type of relationships, intimacy will eventually become predictable. It will cease to become exciting, okay? That's why guys have side chicks. That's why women get with the pool guy. And in some relationships, especially where I'm at over here, there's a way to keep it respectable to where we understand what's going on in our relationship. And we can separate this, say, okay, you know what? This part, I might want to outsource, but this part I still want with you. Okay? Happens all the time in more wealthy relationships, more wealthy households. They understand this is part is getting boring. So this part, you know, I'm probably gonna give it to somebody else, blah, blah, but I'm still loyal to you. The bill's still gonna get paid. I'm still gonna take you to nice dinners and to vacations, and the children still be, you know, taken care of and everything. But sexually, we're not there anymore, right? I mean, it happens all the time, but she's not ready for that. And probably neither is this guy, because they're young and young people don't understand this.
And I guess if that's not for you, if you're not there yet, don't drag this guy back through it.
Don't do it.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that, like, he knew the situation that I was in with this other person, how it was like abusive, and my ex was just worried that it was going to turn physical. And so he allowed me to come back into our old house. Well, it's technically his house, but it was our house, you know, that we built together, and stay in the spare room.
You see what she just did? You saw that? Oh, well, it's technically our house, but the house we built together. No, bitch. This was his house. Yes, you lived there. Okay, of course, because y'all was, you know, together for so long. But make no mistake, it was his house. Stop trying to put your own, you know, your own claim to it. Your fiance was still your ex fiance then was still keeping tabs on you, and he knew the relationship you were in was toxic. You broke up with this guy, and he allowed you, with the kindness of his heart, he allowed you to come back into his home because he knew you were being mistreated. And John Delony is right. If you come back in this man's life and you mess it up, this will be all on you. And him too, to a less degree, for letting you come back in the first place. But John Delony is saying if you come back with that same BS you left with, you're going to completely ruin him. Okay? The last little bit of goodness this man has left, if you do him wrong the second time, there's no coming back from it on either side. Okay? You're going to return this man bad, and you're going to be really a piece of POS in the eyes of society and to people that's listening right now. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to do right by this man or not? It's really simple as that. And if you do, that means you got to freaking change your whole mind state of relationships and what you want. And you have to be more, have some common sense and
until I find an apartment or we like figure out what we want to do. And so I've been here for like a week now, just in the spare room. And I mean, it's just like a roommate, friend, you know, thing that we have going on, and it's working fine so far.
I know, but it's imaginary. Because your body trusts this guy because he's safe.
Right.
And he's reliable. And he's loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right to feel those words like, I'm at home now. Ah.
Right.
Until you can look him in the eye and make the ironclad commitment, I will never, come hell or high water, I will never cheat on you again.
Mm-hmm.
Until you can do that, it's unfair for you to take your need to not feel so guilty for blowing the life up.
Mm-hmm.
To take your need of, I ran from a guy that was exciting and also abusive, and running back into the arms of somebody that you know is always going to be there for you because y'all have been together for, half your life, a quarter of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Until you can look him in the eye and say, till death do us part, come hell or high water, that will never happen again. Until you can do that and actually mean it. I'm going to tell you if you care enough about this guy, don't drag him back through it.
Right.
Have the courage to go get your own apartment and be a grown up.
And we're going to leave it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Be an adult. Be an adult, please. Do not drag him back through this, because if you do, you are a piece of shit. Okay? But y'all know what is going on here, right? With that being said, thank you for taking another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about this woman that left her fiance because she wanted to get her back blown out. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and be out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.